What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the sort of a DFS Soccer Recap. I'm Alex Hooper, joined by Tom Stoss. Tom, it's another wonderful weekend. We had a Boxing Day special yesterday to cover. It went all right on my end. How was your weekend going?
Boxing Day itself was I loaded way too much into that one day just out of Christmas excitement, I guess post Christmas excitement, and not all of them, not enough of them went the way they were supposed to go. But the late was that was the day with the late slate, right? Or was that
Yes.
that was yeah. That went better, and then today has been all over the board. So hey, it's just another weekend. It's just another weekend.
That's how it
Whatever.
goes. There's
Yeah.
nothing consistent about this ever. Let's
No.
jump into it. Get in, get out. So yeah, Saturday was the big one. We got a 4-game slate?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was 3.
Was it only 3? That's right, because we had late slate. That's right. They broke it up. So let's take a look at the early slate. First, I think everybody was putting their eggs in the Villa basket, and rightfully so. That kind of went to plan early on, at least. And then Tyrone Mings gets tossed, and that changed the entire match. We think it still wound up 3-0. 2 goals scored when Villa was down to 10 men, but Bertrand Traore was the first one, who was El Ghazi was the chalk, and Grealish, obviously, and then Traore was the pivot, and some people got all 3 of them in. I know I tried to in a couple that helped me out, but I got really worried once Mings got sent off. I thought it was going to be a bunker fest, and it still was for Palace, but you got the center back goal, which I caught, and the El Ghazi goal, which I caught, with the assist from Watkins, which I caught in some lineups. So I was feeling pretty good after the first one. 0-0 out of the Fulham Southampton match. Not a ton of love from James Ward-Prowse, but I was tilting because I had House Traore lineups with both Shane Long and Theo Walcott. So I thought for a second there twice that I was on my way to 10,000. Plus, I had Tammy Abraham in both of those lineups as well.
Oh, right. Yeah. Wow. That's a,
yeah.
Did you get the inside line on? I guess you didn't. I don't know. Someone was working against you on that one.
I guess so. I must have done something to upset the VAR official yesterday, but that's fine. Right. I made some pivots, and we'll take a look at it here in a second. So I think I've explained it before, but basically one of my strategies is I play cash. I put a lot of my GPP allotment towards satellites, and then I just go for the big prizes. And basically what happened is yesterday I made back the price of my tickets. So I essentially went even in the contest, but when you have satellites, that's not promised. That money back's not promised. So I was cool with it, but obviously I was hoping for the 10,000. It was only 10,000, not 20. So I didn't need it anyway.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. That's just chump change.
Yeah, right. Who needs it? All right, let's take a look at our match. Ooh. I believe you had me early. I think you had me down early.
Yeah, I must have, because I like El Ghazi. Well, you guys do have El Ghazi coming up too.
We both had El Ghazi.
The difference was I guess I had you on Stevens. Yeah, Stevens.
Yeah, you had me by a little bit, and what actually happened is I had Willian in my cash lineup, and he didn't play. So I actually got to Saka, and I got the Saka goal because I'm a lucky bastard, and I managed to beat. Although you got the Tammy goal, Saka was just better.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, I beat you by 0.54. Yeah. I beat you by.
This is the best one. This is the pretty exciting one for the weekend. Yeah.
Right. I beat you by less than 7 crosses. So, or a shot assisted.
Something. Yeah. Right.
So not really a whole. Yeah, not really a whole lot to compare. I think basically the only difference for us was you went down to Stevens and I went up to I went up to Bednarek, and then you used your savings on Caballero to get Abraham, whereas I used the Saka money to get Target. But I had Target early.
Right.
So that's why I was not feeling well going into it, but I managed to pull it out. So yeah, not a lot to compare there. Just 2 cash plays, and we went on both sides of them.
Yeah. I guess this doesn't this is a little. It was really tough after that Fulham Southampton match was over, and just like the remains of that were left. It did start to kind of count on that a little bit too much here. Cavallero especially, because I feel like I don't know how much more I could have spent down otherwise, but still I expected more. I was hoping for more.
Sure. Yeah, Cavallero and Lookman's kind of a toss up.
Yeah, right.
Cavallero's been cheaper, so that's kind of where you want to go.
Yeah.
If you have the money to get to Lookman, I know I had him in some GPPs. If you have the money to get there, it generally works out. But
how did it work out? Did he break 10 this one?
I think so. I think he had like 12 or 13.
Okay. Yeah, he's worked out before, but you're right about that price. It's like I can get kind of close with Cavallero.
Right. You can get to other stuff, and the reason you're playing Cavallero is because he's 54. Like, this is where Lookman is up around Saka, and I mean, Arsenal's horrible, and I went Arsenal because, again, they love to cross at this point. But also, I was trying to fade ownership in a lot of ways. So, all right, this was a cash lineup that I won. As you can see, it's different. He had Walcott, which didn't help. Okay, so he had all this goodness from the Southampton match. I didn't realize that their backs did so well. I know I played Bertrand some places. Kyle Walker-Peters has really become a nice player for them, and I think he's better than Matt Doherty, so kind of wish he was still at Spurs. But Poch didn't play him. Jose didn't want him. Here we go.
Yeah. They've kind of Southampton's been really like they kind of switched to a whole different sort of like where you're going to be targeting in the past like couple matches.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, whatever. Yeah, it's nice he's a nice price. He's probably not going to go up too much more. We'll see.
Yeah, I could see him at like 45 on a slate where they're favored, and like I still don't feel okay paying that for him. It depends. Although I paid 5,300 for Matt Target, so I mean I was loading on Villa, which is why I went there. Whatever. But yeah, I went up to Abraham here because I think I looked at Walcott and I was close enough. I can't really fully explain what I was going for, but I pulled it off. Again, late swap for the win. If you're not utilizing it, you're losing money probably. But here's one where I got punched in the mouth. El Ghazi Traore, he had the Traore cash lineup, so automatically I was playing from behind. I went the same with Conte Abraham, but Mason Mount did better than Abraham without the goal. So, I went away from Mount to get the differential and whatever. So, not a ton to look at there, but I just like to show both sides of the coin. Let's take a look really quick at this Boxing Day special. So I had 20 tickets to this, and we'll look at top lineup and a couple of my best lineups. B Havoc, he beats me out for most of these tickets, and then he went ahead and won the damn thing. So I know he's got some king of the pitch seats. He might already be rich. If he's not yet, he's well on his way. He's a damn good player. So this was the big one right here.
Yeah,
this is what
I was just going to say.
That changed the entire slate. It's those keepers right in the middle. If you're not paying all the way up or paying all the way down, if you get a guy in the middle who, and I can't believe he had 24% ownership, but Emi Martinez, smart play, but like I wouldn't have expected the 6 saves. But when you get the red card and all of a sudden you're playing a man down and you got bunkering Crystal Palace rifling shots, like I think without the red card, I don't love that play, but that's the way it went. I went to Smith Rowe a lot in places where I was down. You'll see him pop up a lot in my lineup. Basically, so I like this. This is what I tried to do in a couple of lineups as well. I just noticed this. Jack Grealish is not in this lineup. So basically, you're going with the Villa stack and not assuming, but hoping that Grealish isn't one of the top guys. And I don't think he was. I don't think he beat any of these guys. Ollie had a big-time ceiling game. He didn't even need the goal, got the assist. El Ghazi did what you kind of thought he would do. And then Traore scored a goal. And then without Grealish, that gives you so much leverage in other spots. So you were able to get the Saka goal and the Martinez. I mean, you're already loading them up anyway. The one thing that didn't go off for him was Chilwell.
Yeah, right.
And that's a pay up.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a GPP winning lineup. That's a $10,000 lineup. That was fantastic from him.
We were kind of going back and forth before Tottenham about Harry Kane. I don't know. It's like Grealish is almost like in that territory in terms of his pricing to where like he's either going to be involved or it's going to be somebody else. And with like El Ghazi is going to bring you a lot of points, and his floor is really high. And Watkins is apparently pretty high too, depending. So yeah, in a game like this for them, it's worth considering for the future.
Right. I think we all felt this was like a 3-0 game. But the thing to consider is in GPPs, like fade the big guy X amount, like 20% of the time. And I think you're fine because you can fall into a lineup like this. And it doesn't always happen. When you have a guy like Grealish, I mean, he's got, other than De Bruyne, he's got probably the best floor in the entire, and Bruno, he's got the best floor in the entire EPL. And like, you can't go away from him in the games that he's favored. But in GPPs, like, that's the perfect time to go away from him. And that's the thing to consider. But most of the time, you want him in your lineup. Let's take a look at Redcoat's lineup. Another GOAT.
Oh, yeah.
He had at least 50 lineups.
Oh.
Got the Martinez sheet, which if you didn't have that, you probably weren't up there. Locker got the goal. I played a lot of Anthony Robinson. I like him a lot. American bias. He even had the Cavaliero play, Reece James. So, I mean, there's a lot of floor plays. These are all floor plays. This is a floor play. And then you're just hoping to get the goals with Laka and Traore, and you did. And I mean, that's a sharp lineup. It's not too heavy one way. It's pretty balanced. You got what? 3 Villa guys, 2 Arsenal, 2 Fulham, 1 Chelsea. And it wasn't heavily stacked one way or the other. When you're playing 50 lineups, you can get a lot of combinations like that. Pew, Pulisic, that's interesting, but that's a good fade. Got the house. There you go. There's our first.
Yeah, right.
I think it's actually pronounced Haas, regardless. All right, where am I at? Where was my best one here? All right, 49. All right, so Grealish did make it in this one.
Okay.
But yeah, so this was I was way back, and I was like, let's throw some Arsenal out there and hope they score, and they did, and I got up there. So nothing really special about this lineup. It's pretty straightforward. It's a Villa stack, and I paid down a keeper, and I late swapped 2 goals, which if those don't happen, like I'm not even sniffing. All right, 62. Okay, so no Grealish. I got my Watkins and El Ghazi, but I didn't have Traore. Saka made up for it. I got a goal out of Abraham, but I just didn't. 14 more points. Say this is Emi Martinez. Obviously, that changes other things, and like I can't get this Pulisic, so it's not worth just saying like, oh, if I would have just swapped them out, because it doesn't work that way. But I would have had 14 extra points on 36, would have put me right here. So keepers are fun. Let's take a look at one more if I can find it.
I had no idea things could look this good. I maybe had like 25% of mine that like even like performed okay. So like it's just funny seeing all this like all these points flying around, and I don't know. I was off. I was off this day.
When you have 20 entries, like it can go one way or the other. I've had these big ticket days where I don't cash any of them. I've had most of them like this. And then I've had like really good ones. The day I won a lot, like I had a lot towards the top because it was the same sort of build. So they kind of fall in line. You're not generally going to go like, here's one type of lineup and then completely pivot for like half of them. You're either going to like really like something and do small 2v2s, 1v1s, things like that, and place a lot of them high, or it's going to be the opposite, where one of the opposite places high and you're like 80% that you were doing the same are kind of at the bottom. So
I think that is probably what happened with Arsenal and Chelsea. I think that's exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't know how the percentages break down for that, but I assume people were scripting Chelsea for that one and not so much Arsenal.
Right. And I think as soon as that red card hit, I think people were feeling pretty good about scripting Chelsea because it was probably going to be the higher scoring match. It just turned out. And it was overall. It just wasn't time. So yeah, there's a couple of fades here. I went to Zaha just in case. He was fine. This was I'm going for first. Here's a leverage play. Let's hope he drops a bomb and then also get one from Tammy. So I don't need to look at too many more. Let's see if we can look at one of my really bad lineups.
Ooh, okay. Like here's what now we're in my territory here. Okay.
Yeah. See, so
Yeah.
what did I even go for here? So it was a this is 1-0 El Ghazi from Grealish. This is 1-0 sort of build. I don't looking at it now. And again, like there's some late swapping here. Like obviously I didn't have Martinelli in my holder. I guess I was just going for balance there. Kind of a half Southampton stack just to go against the grain. This lineup would have looked a lot. Well, I had
do you have notifications on right now for Tottenham?
I don't know what happened.
Exactly. Oh, Roman Saiz scored. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, sorry to throw you off here.
No, you're fine.
I couldn't help but see it. It's too funny. It's just way too funny to me.
Hey man, it's gonna keep happening. If that's how I want to play, it's gonna keep happening. On air, live tilt. All right, so we've seen enough of this. You've seen what I'm doing. Let's move on. All right, so here's the late slate. That's okay. This isn't ours, but this is against Trip and B, who I lost to. Trip and B is pretty good. We did the same thing. Bang, bang, bang. Bang.
Holgate showed up. Okay. I didn't realize.
So what was the difference? Oh, he went with Ederson. He caught a clean sheet. Congrats.
Yeah, right.
Congrats on paying up for Ederson. Not really anything else to look at. I played it by the book. He did something dumb and it paid off. He's good. I'm not mad at him. He's good. Yeah. But here's someone who paid up for Ederson and lost because they also went for a goal scorer in cash. Pretty clear cut. Nothing to see here. Let's see. So who did he fade? Silva, which is fine.
Yeah, right.
But where? So he got the Torres goal. Oh, Siggy. Yeah, a nice 21-point difference here because you got Ryan Brewster and Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and they combined for less than 2 points. Don't do that in cash.
That's
if
rough.
You're doing a head-to-head, don't do that. Don't try to catch goals. You have to beat one person. Don't do it. But that's fine. That's the players that I'm looking for when I'm trying to play head-to-head. And here's us.
Here we go. Okay, another close one. I forgot.
Yeah, you almost got me.
Ooh, Joelinton.
Yeah, that's a goal scorer.
I don't know. Yeah, I kind of don't remember why I slotted him in there over anyone else, but I should have punted.
So it got you up to Godfrey, I think, was the difference.
Yeah. Ultimately, I should have punted on him.
I went with I like playing punt goal scorers. I like playing one punt goal scorer in cash sometimes, depending on the slate. I played a lot of Joelinton last week, and it didn't go well for me. So I think that's where a lot of that came from. But I mean, is that the difference? So I got 2 back here, and I got 4 here. Like Silva was not great. So
yeah, right. But it was much more even between the two different guys here than Joelinton was like, give me break 1. Yikes.
Yeah.
Hey, it's okay.
So this brings up an interesting point really quick before we move on.
Sure.
If you're playing a sharp, and I'm not saying I'm a sharp, I'm just saying that a lot of the sharp people are on the same builds. So if you're playing a really good player one-on-one, you have a feeling you kind of know what their build is going to be like. Like I've played Jordan Cooper a lot, and I mean, I get the advantage where I get to listen to what his build's going to be every week. I listen to the podcast every single week, and he basically says what his build is going to be. He doesn't venture from it often. What happens though is he will beat me every now and then because there's one leverage play that he doesn't say explicitly he's going to play, and he swaps it out, like Riyad Mahrez, who's been down, whatever. So he'll swap them out and always finds a better play. It's uncanny. That's why he's a sharp. But so like we know our builds are going to be the same. We're going off the same information. We're talking about it. Right. And like pivoting off of Bernardo is not an awful idea. You catch a goal here and you blast me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. If I caught like 2 more crosses, I don't know, something out of him. Right. Yeah.
Right. Anything. A couple shots. A shot on goal, right. A shot and a shot on goal, and I mean we're 0.12 apart. So, I'm not surprised that Godfrey didn't get enough to be that much better than John Robinson, especially because I know, is it John Robinson? Did I make that up? Jack, sorry, John F. Robinson.
Yeah.
I forget, I can never get out of these. So yeah, I mean, Godfrey's not a great fullback, and Robinson gets forward and takes shots for them every now and then because they're putrid. So I'm not surprised. I don't remember what other pivots were there other than Godfrey, but I mean, he was wide, and that's fine. Like, there's a number of ways you could have still beaten me. I don't think it's like a bad beat or anything. It's just Joelinton did so little, and he's a guy where you get sub-1 games. So, all right, moving on. This is today. a little different today.
Oh God, that's right. This seems like so long ago. I really pushed it way, way back.
I don't blame you.
Okay.
So
you had Bowen elsewhere, right?
Yeah, I had him in GPPs.
Okay.
But no, in cash I just stacked Liverpool because I didn't think that first. I scripted nothing in the big GPP for the West Ham Brighton game, so obviously that didn't go well for me. But that was what I was expecting. I was expecting Ben Johnson to put up next to nothing, and I was just going to let it ride and let Liverpool do something, and they didn't do much. I was hoping that it was going to be like a Wijnaldum goal again, and I would benefit from that, but I wanted to try and catch Mane. I figured it was like 5-0 and Mane scores twice and everybody has Salah and then I have the other 2 goals or something like that. And that's just it. Bowen's bad. I don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't want to develop a bias to the point where I don't play him anymore, but it's getting there. And every time I play him, I feel like he lets me down.
I don't even know what to say. Right. Like I'm going to hold off until something comes around for them. I don't know. They seem to be really chaotic, West Ham, in the past couple ones.
Everything with them is so slate dependent. I mean, everything always is slate dependent when you're talking about this, but like there's a clear blowout on the slate and then there's a game between 2 middling teams. So naturally on a 2-game slate, I'm just going to be like, let's try and catch these goals, whatever. And then the other thing too is like Brighton, I don't know if they're good or not. I said last time that someone tricked me into thinking they were good and they weren't. And then today they were like good. But I think we can both say for certain at this point, like we should probably play Pascal Gross over Bowen, no matter who's favored in the matchup. Like Gross,
possibly Solly March
and Solly March. Yeah. I like Solly a lot. I think they both like thoroughly outperformed him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So no good keepers on this slate. I think Alisson still wound up. I think Alisson still wound up the best. I think Fabianski was like 0.18, or at least last I looked, and I think Alisson wound up with like 4. So.
Oh my God. Okay. This is a rough one. I'm like Bowen aside, Liverpool slates are always. I always throw them. I don't know. I can't. I always pick. I get them too involved when it doesn't happen, and I pick Salah and it's Mane. I pick Mane and it's Salah.
It's roulette. It's the same with City. It's the same if you've ever played a Bayern match, or if you've ever played a League One match with PSG. Like it's the same thing. They're not as good as the other teams. I shouldn't lump them in there, even though they played each other in the final. But like Bayern, you know, is going to beat the pants off of whoever they play. So you either stack them and they win 1-0, or you stack them and you don't catch the right guys. And like 33% of the time you might hit.
Yeah. And then they also like eclipse everyone else too. So it's like hard for me to like, I don't want to shake off someone like, well, I will shake him off from now on, but like Bowen or something like that. I want to make room for an assist and a goal or a couple assists for him or something like that.
Right.
Not anymore, but you know, and I totally missed out on Johnson. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, it was kind of a pick between Johnson and either like Wijnaldum or we thought Naby was going to play. So I took Johnson because he was on a wing and the other guys were in the mid. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, those guys are in midfield, whereas Johnson, he used to be a wing back and he was playing like wide today. 26% owned in this satellite. Bowen was in the winning lineup here. I don't know if he was in the big GPP. I didn't play it. But you get the Souček goal. And I mean, fading Salah, again, it works out. I think that's what we learned this week is make sure to fade the chalk a little bit.
Right.
You don't have to fully sell out. What my guy do here? Yeah, see, that's a smart build. Yeah, Fabianski 0.2.
There he is. Damn.
So, all
That's
right.
rough.
Moving on.
I guess Adam Lallana, by the way, is back to where he should be. He had like a brief flash there at the like a month ago, and he's
Yeah, and I think he came off
right.
after 45 minutes. So.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, here's Allison. Here's your best keeper of the slate, 2.38.
Jeez, man. Wow.
That's why range of outcomes. So yeah, this guy he got solid Allison. Oops.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is
wow.
Yikes.
His only double-digit player was Souček, and he scored a goal. So that's a bad cash lineup.
Yeah, that's rough. Hey, I had a feeling TAA would be the better performing one today.
Yep.
I don't know why. I just had a feeling.
Yep. And let's see. So we want to tackle. Yeah, they played through more. So basically what I'm trying to do with fullbacks at this point is if they're even, all things equal, I try to go with the one who has a worse defensive matchup, or the winger on that side plays forward for more. Sorry, I just got a notification that Spurs drew. So way to go, guys. Congrats. You did it yet again. Well, we did it. Unless there's anything else you want to talk about. I mean, I guess I didn't really address the slate today. We normally actually look at it, but Liverpool. And then we got the two. Well, let's go back to it really quick. We owe it.
Sure.
We owe it to our wide legion of fans. There was a 2-2 game. So Souček gets it, Johnson gets it. We talked about that. Dunk, I forgot about that one. Maupay. So let's see. This is really your lone cash play goal in this game. These are all GPP guys. And Liverpool, Mane made sense in cash. I played him, so maybe that's only why I'm saying it. And then you can't plan for a semi. I don't know why that did that. You can't play for a semi-Ajayi goal, but you can play him because he's 2,600 or whatever. So, and I flirted with it every now and then. And I know you made a comment about it when Naby wasn't in, and I assume you didn't play him.
I got him, I think, in like one spot, even though I had resigned to playing him. That's my Saucerdamus pick of the week. Even though I said it was a brace, but one is close enough. I did pay for it in being unlucky, and my queso burst open in my Chipotle bag on the way home. So it's just one of those days. I'm gonna quote the poet here, Fred Durst. It's one of those damn days, man. That's how it is.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could say everybody sucked, but.
Not everybody.
Not everybody. Just the guys I played, per usual.
Right.
All right, man. We'll get them. It's another wild week. Like, I feel bad we're leaving a bunch of games on the table, but we can't cover a whole week's worth of action. Like a bunch of 2-game slates. It's whatever. We're gonna stick to the weekend. That's fine. But let's see. We got a big one on Tuesday. We got the back heel special coming up. I got some tickets for that one.
Yeah.
Let's take a gander really quick. I'm gonna go back to the tape and then we'll get out here. So that's coming up.
Did you take a look at the it's like with Everton, Man City, and then I don't know, there's like a 2-gamer for tomorrow. The prices are like deceptively low just because it's loaded with chalk. It's crazy. Yeah, I was getting excited.
The thing about this slate, so we're looking at Monday now. Is it just the two? Is it 2 games or 3 games? I haven't looked.
I'm pretty sure it's City, Everton, Chelsea, and Villa. It's a 2-gamer. Yeah.
Oh, it's not Palace and Leicester. They're a showdown? Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Either way, I wouldn't know what to do on this slate.
Yeah.
Like, if you threw Palace and Leicester in there, I might lean towards stacking Leicester at this point because Palace just got thwacked, and then they lost 3-0 to a team with 10 men. So I would probably go Leicester, but I don't love any of these games.
No.
So when you make that a 2-gamer, let's see. So you're gonna play De Bruyne, you're gonna play Grealish and El Ghazi.
Yeah, I think all of those De Bruyne and Grealish are both sub 10,000, just because there's so much going on.
Wow, now I'm intrigued. I wish I would have pulled that up.
Yeah, take a look at that later on. It's an interesting one.
Yeah. So
On any other, see, like I've seen some workout like this where like a couple big money guys are hurt, and it's like, oh, okay, now I like have an idea of where to go here.
gotcha.
But I think everyone's gonna be in, and it's a mess.
Huh. For what
Yeah,
it's
take a look.
worth, I'm pulling it up now because I want to see what the Tuesday one looks like. For what it's worth, Spurs losing and Saïs scoring actually made me quite a bit of money, so that's nice.
Nice.
Always bet against your boys.
Yeah,
Bet against
it's worked out before.
your personal interests. So the Tuesday slate, I want to see. So you're right, that is 2 matches, and then the Tuesday slate is it all 4 1 p.m. games?
Oh, I have no idea.
We got King of the Pitch qualifiers, so you can't draft yet. So I can't look at prices, but it's a 4-match slate. I think that's all 4 at 1. Yeah, so it's Brighton and Arsenal, Burnley, and oh my God, Burnley and Sheffield. Stack,
right.
game stack. West Ham and Southampton and Leeds and West Brom. That's a tough one.
That's, oh man.
I think I might just find different ways to stack Leeds and Brighton.
Right. I think if this goes wrong, it's because I have way too much Leeds going on.
But I mean, I think West Brom's still the worst defense in the league.
Yeah.
And you might just game stack that because Leeds doesn't play defense. They don't do defense. So like you're probably just going to fade the entire Burnley Sheffield match. Like you can forget about that. Well, I take it back. Pope.
That's right. That's right.
Depending on
he
his
might be
price.
too expensive though.
Right.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah,
price.
here he might be too much.
Who do you think? See. So let's see. Arsenal and Brighton will probably be evenish odds. We can take a look because we have the odds right here.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Okay, yeah. So those are about even. Okay, that's where I would put that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that all makes sense. Leeds is even money. That's fine. Yeah. So if you had to guess, Johnstone will be I would say Johnstone will be the cheapest keeper.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're doing this much talking about keepers, but we brought it up. And then I would say Ryan.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's okay.
Ramsdale.
Okay.
Leno. Fabianski. I would even venture to say that maybe Homie from Leeds would be below McCarthy. I don't know. No, like you can't. McCarthy can't be that expensive. Right. I bet they're all between like 43 and 5. I bet they're like 43, 44, 46, 48, 49.
Yeah.
5. I don't know if I got the number of teams right, but I bet they're all in a similar range, and they're all going to hamper your lineup completely. So you might as well like pick the one you like the most. Yeah,
it's either I think up top is probably either going to be, that might be McCarthy. I don't know, but it's either going to be like Nick or Meslier.
Meslier.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I might just grab Rafinha.
Yep.
Bamford. Gross. Okay. And then fill the rest in and go with one keeper each.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think I have like 6 or 7 tickets. So my dearly retired friend, the parlor boss, used to say stack every team, stack every keeper, and he won a lot of GPPs, and any advice he's ever given me has worked out for the most part. And I don't have enough to stack every team. I could try, but I'm not going to waste a ticket on a Sheffield stack. So, well, yeah. So we got some interesting games coming up. I'm glad we could actually preview it a little bit, but I would love to do another one of these Tuesday night, but it just doesn't work. So maybe if we remember, maybe we'll touch on it in the weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe next weekend will just be so bad we can just be like, let's talk about Tuesday and the $20,000 I won.
Let's hope we can harken back to something there. I don't know. Maybe both. We'll do an hour long because we both did incredibly. I'm sure that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, right. Hour long special, takedown special.
We're retiring from everything special.
Yeah.
Because I won $20.
I'm gonna win this. I'm playing like a 10,000 to first NBA right now.
Okay.
I ain't gonna win it.
All right. We're there already.
Oh, I got Paul George and captain. He's got the snowflake next to him. So that's how we're doing. All right. We'll see you next week.